Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Daily Stand-Up. My name is Lee Henson, president and founder of Agile Dad, and without any further ado, let's get started. Every Friday we tend to focus on things that are Agile-related but not Agile-specific. So today I wanted to focus on something that's been crossing my mind a lot lately. My friends at the Blissful Mind came in and wrote an article not too long ago regarding mental clarity. Now, I know a lot of people talk about the importance of having a positive mindset, but I've always thought a clear mindset is a key to success. Our brain space gets taken up when we're unsure about who we are and what we want and what we're trying to achieve. If we have no goals, mental clarity is just not there. So I think the best way is to try to find ways to bring certainty into your life so that you can be just a happier person. So I love their list that they came up with. They have a top 5 list, the 5 reasons why mental clarity is so important. And I wanted to review these with you because I think that this will help all of us just really have a better state of mind and just help us to live life better. So coming in at number 1, clarity helps you find focus and direction. If you've ever felt lost or directionless in life, you probably know how hard it is to progress on anything. When you've had clarity around your goals and your priorities, it just makes things easier. It makes it easier for you to move forward and make decisions. I know for one that when I feel like I'm not making good choices, or I feel like I'm just kind of lost, or that I don't have an established, point where a checkpoint, if you will, and I just feel like I don't have good direction. I feel scatterbrained. That driving myself to put together a list of goals and priorities, even if they're achievable small goals, helps me get the most out of what I'm trying to do, and it helps me gain some mental clarity and some vision of where I'm trying to head. Coming in at number 2, clarity makes it easier to get things done. Call it Captain Obvious, but when you're clear on the reasoning behind why you're doing something, it makes it so much easier to do. If you've ever started a project only to give up halfway through or to realize it was a bad idea, you probably weren't clear why you were doing it in the first place. You probably had no clear direction, no clear vision, no clear strategy. I think it's important, whether it's Agile or family life or whatever you're doing, that you need to make sure you can focus and just really get that clear lens. If you don't understand the why behind the what, figure it out. It doesn't take that long, and it's something that's important for you to figure out in the first place. Coming in at number 3, clarity makes it easier for you to prioritize. I know when your brain is foggy and you're riddled with indecision, it's hard to make choices that get you to where you want to be. True mental clarity helps you make decisions with ease instead of overthinking everything. It also helps it make it easier to organize when you have this huge to-do list. I know lots of times I try to boil the ocean and I get this great long list, and I feel like, hey, I'm getting so much done, but at the same time, I look at that list and I often look at it as a list of so much to do. What we need to realize is that it's not always boil the ocean first. We need to decide what work we're going to take on first. Block it off and take on that work first. And I think that that's going to help us get progress and see achievement and allow us to set sustainable goals as opposed to constantly just reaching for the stars and not accomplishing the things that we set out to do. Number 4 is one that especially resonates with me. It talks about clarity helping you push through doubt. When you're unfocused or distracted, it's easy to start doubting yourself and your capabilities and your talents. And, you start to feel like you just can't do all the things that you have on your list. Mental clarity helps you see yourself honestly and non-judgmentally. So instead of worrying about what everybody else thinks of you, you should just be clear and focused and, don't entertain the thoughts of what others think. Entertain the thoughts of what you feel and what you see. Because I think that if you see something magical and something special, and if you can create opportunities for yourself, it makes it easier for you to create opportunities for others and to help uplift others. And I think that too often we get so distracted and we have those doubts. I just think it's important for us to be able to find a way to channel our energy to clear through those doubts and to find a way to be sustainable. And finally, number 5, clarity helps you feel content. If you ever feel guilty or not appreciative of the things that you have, oftentimes when you look at life, it's pretty dang good, right? Instead of second guessing whether what you have is good enough, look at it and say, wow, look at all that I do have. Look at all those small, simple things that happen in our lives, all those unnoticed blessings, all those clouds with silver lining. And, find ways to be content with what you have. And, don't always look for the bigger, better model of what you have. Sometimes what you have is exactly what you need to have. And I think that it's important for you to recognize where you are and what you need, even if it's less than what you're traditionally used to. I think it's still healthy for you to take a dose of the hard to swallow pill, humility, and make those choices. And, seriously, I've had issues with humility for ages. So it's not like I'm saying, do as I do. It's more saying, hey, we all have things to work on. So how do you know if you're lacking mental clarity? How do you know if you're at a point where, you need to make some adjustments? If you're constantly questioning yourself and what you're doing and trying to make sure you're doing the right thing, or if you have to ask others for their advice about everything, if you find yourself asking others for advice more than just doing your own thing, if you say yes to everything because you're not sure what to prioritize or what order to do things with, if you find yourself frequently overwhelmed with ideas and never know which way to work on or which way to turn or which one to work on first, that's a sign. Or if you start creative projects and then fail to follow through and finish them. I know one thing for certain, a story close to home. Here in the room where I'm seated, we recently converted this room from a front living room into a library / office. And when we started, I looked at the room and I said, man, there's just so much to do. There's a lot of work and, there's a lot of things we needed to tackle. But, my daughter and my son and my wife and all those who reached in to help, what we found is that the more we got done, the better we felt. And the better we felt, the more we wanted to do. And it was an extremely creative project that involved built-in bookcases and refinishing a fireplace and redoing a floor and painting an entire room with a new color, and it came out beautifully. But, I can't take credit for that myself. I take credit for the part that, my family did a good job of really taking the creative aspect of it and honing in on what needed to be done and not stopping until we got it down. When you get that creative clarity in your life, or when you get clarity in your life in general, when you feel like you're focused, you get some indicators. You get some clear indicators or some things that you could do to help you really stay focused. For me, it's having a solid daily routine. I'm not good at some things. I'm not good at journaling. But times when I find that I meditate or to just take a quiet moment to reflect or pray, those type of things really help. If I have an opportunity to work out, that gives me a chance to focus on my personal well-being and gives me better mental clarity for that day. I think those are important steps that we can take. If we focus on the future, and I'm not saying the far future, but even just the short-term future, and say, this is what I need to do, and this is where I need to be, and this is where I'm going. Whether it's creating a to-do list or setting a vision or a journal in motion that tells you day to day, a notebook of some kind. It doesn't necessarily have to be a list of tremendous things, but a small list of things that you want to do. Define what your priorities are and avoid distractions. And I think that if you understand what your priorities are and don't let all the external things get in the way, it helps you be more successful. One that my wife always emphasizes to me is plan your day to night before if possible. Don't try to wait until the last responsible moment because, one of the biggest quote unquote time sucks is trying to figure out what to do right before you need to do it. If you time box out your schedule and figure out what you need to do, sometimes you wake up more excited about what's going to happen and you wake up more excited to have some sort of plan. And it's not to say that the plan can't change, but it's to have a plan and to know what direction you're heading. And finally, probably my favorite of the whole list is, you take action. Action requires clarity, and you can't act on things, whether it's recording an episode of the Daily Stand-Up podcast or whether it's, doing creative things with your family. I think it's just important for you to make a decision, to not have indecision, and whether the decision's right or not, you can always course correct or adjust if necessary. It's just important for you to remain focused and to push through to the end. Because the truth is, every single one of us in every single day of our life makes some mistake or has some struggle or loses focus. And that's okay because we're all human and that's just the way we are. I think the important piece to take away here is that mental clarity is going to bring you peace in your mind. It's going to bring you peace in your heart. It's going to help you to really engage and stay focused. And it's going to help you build yourself personally at home so that when you do get into a work environment, it's going to make it easier for you to make those critical decisions, those decisions that are hard typically to make. It's going to help draw focus to the things that matter the most. And it's going to help you engage with your teams, organizations, and counterparts in a way that you've never had before. I hope you found this information uplifting, and I hope that it helped you through our Uplifting Friday. And, we always look for ways to help uplift those around us, and I encourage you and challenge you to do the same. Whether you can lose yourself in a service to someone else or find a way to uplift someone, I just think it's so critically important to have that as an element in your life. So until next week, I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope things go your way, and we hope to hear from you again soon. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile. Until next time, my friends, do take care.